For millions of years, human beings were completely unremarkable. If you dropped in on a band of Homo sapiens 100,000 years ago, you'd find a middle-of-the-food chain ape, physically identical to us, just trying not to get eaten. Then, about 70,000 years ago, something clicked. These relatively weak apes suddenly surged out of East Africa. Within a few millennia, they overran the globe and pushed every other human species into extinction. They suddenly began inventing boats, oil lamps, and bows and arrows. And for the first time, they started leaving deliberate, permanent marks on their environment. Researchers call this era the cognitive revolution. It didn't happen because of a physical change to our skeletons. Our muscles didn't get denser, and our teeth didn't get sharper. An accidental genetic mutation rewired the internal structure of the sapiens' brain. We didn't get a hardware upgrade. We got a massive software update in how we process and communicate information. Every animal communicates. A green monkey can let out a specific vocal cry to warn its troop that a lion is approaching. Our new language, however, was incredibly supple. We could combine a limited number of sounds to produce an infinite number of sentences. Instead of just shouting, "lion," a sapiens could explain exactly where the lion was, the path it was taking, and how to ambush it. But knowing the location of predators is only half the battle. According to the gossip theory, our language evolved primarily to share information about each other. In a tight-knit band, survival depends on cooperation. You need to know who hates who is honest, and who is a cheat. Gossip gave our ancestors a tool to map these complex social networks in real time. This constant flow of social data acted as an essential glue. It allowed those small family bands to expand into tighter, more sophisticated groups that could rely on one another. Yet the most profound leap of the cognitive revolution had nothing to do with lions or other people. It was the ability to talk about things that do not physically exist at all. We went from saying, "There is a lion near the river," to saying, "The lion is the guardian spirit of our tribe." This 32,000-year-old ivory figure is a physical manifestation of an entirely imagined concept. Any animal can lie to deceive a rival, but sapiens developed the ability to collectively believe in shared myths. This singular cognitive trait separates us from every other species on Earth. Even gossip has a biological ceiling. Sociological research shows that the maximum size of a group bonded purely by intimate acquaintance is about 150 individuals. If you try to push past that number based on personal relationships alone, the social order breaks down. You can no longer keep track of everyone's reputation, disagreements multiply, and the band inevitably splits. Shared fictions act as a workaround to this hard numerical limit. Two sapiens who have never met and know absolutely nothing about each other's personal history can instantly trust one another and fight side by side. They do it because they both believe in the exact same tribal spirit, the same gods, or the same origin myth. We didn't conquer the globe because we were individually smarter than other apes. We conquered it because myths allowed us to cooperate flexibly, in massive numbers, with complete strangers. Consider the Neanderthals. They were bulkier, more muscular, and perfectly adapted to the bitter cold of Ice Age Europe. If you threw a single sapiens and a single Neanderthal into a brawl, the Neanderthal would easily win. But in a conflict of hundreds, the Neanderthals didn't stand a chance. They couldn't coordinate large numbers because they couldn't invent stories. That scaling power never stopped. The exact same cognitive mechanism that allowed an ancient tribe to function now allows millions of people to gather, trade, and govern themselves today. The defining feature of human dominance and the true legacy of the cognitive revolution is our collective imagination. It is the invisible architecture holding every large-scale human endeavor together. Which leaves us with a fascinating question. What do these shared beliefs look like in the modern world? We'll explore exactly how imagined realities govern our lives in our next video, The Power of Fiction, the Engine of Human Cooperation.